Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today I'm participating in the Thrift Flip Road Trip Open Challenge. It is hosted by Sammy from Unicorn Dust Designs, Kay and Trish from Crafting Cousins, and the co-host is Annie from Crafting with Indie Annie Jones. Now I'm going to be doing some bunnies and a flower pot. So let's get started on the first project. Here are a couple bunnies that I recently found at the thrift store, and they have seen better days. They are actually Banks. Now, like I said, they have seen some better days. They are pretty old looking, and I do not like the pink eyes on them. And they are flocked. And as you can see, they have a slot in them, so you have to take care of that. And this one's pretty banged up. You know, I'm surprised somebody didn't just throw these away, but I'm glad they didn't because I can use them. The big one was $2.49 and the small one was 99 cents, but I got these half off because pink was half off that day. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the tags off. And I do have to cover up the slots here for the coins because these are not going to be Banks anymore. So let me get this off of here. Okay. And you know what? I used to have one like this. I remember when I was 7, I had a bunny just like this, except for it was brown and gray, more like a bunny color, and it had brown eyes. All right, the first thing I'm doing is covering up the little coin slot, just using my Model Magic clay. I've pushed some in there. I'm going to roll out another piece. Let's get this rolled out. I'm going to stick it on there. I don't need it quite that long. Okay. And I'm going to press it down as flat as possible. Now I will be painting both of these bunnies. Let's kind of smooth that a little bit. Now I'm only going to be showing you the big bunny on camera, and I will do the small bunny off camera. The next thing I want to address is these eyes. They gotta go. We're going to cover them actually. This one has a really deep hole around the eye, but we're going to make this look a little bit nicer. I tried to pop them out, but they just didn't want to come out, and I didn't want to ruin anything. So we're just going to cover it with a Model Magic, and then I'm going to roll a piece like this. And I'm going to go around the eyes like so. Make them more of an almond shape instead of round. Okay, and I'm going to wet my finger and just press it in. I'm actually going to be decoupaging my bunnies, so I do need to put a couple coats of paint on here once the clay dries. So I can get this looking good. Okay, that looks pretty good. Just got to kind of push it in a little bit more so you can see the eye. I'm going to smooth it out. And then I'm going to get the other eye done and let it dry and get started on painting. All right, the bunny is all dry. You can see the eyes look so much better. Okay. Now I'm just going to be using plaster color on here. I'm going to get a coat on. And I'm probably going to have to sand this in between the coats. It might take 2 to 3 coats here. So I'm just going to do a light coat first because this is flocked. And so I know it's not going to get covered all the way, but you know what? He already looks so much better in the face. Look at that. So much better. Alright, so the bunny is all done. It did take 3 coats, and I did sand it in between. Now, these are not napkins. This is actually napkins that I took and taped them to copy paper, and I printed these prints off of Creative Fabrica. So now I'm just going to be tearing the edges because I don't want them to be straight. And we're going to be decoupaging these on to the bunny. He's going to be all decoupaged. So let me go ahead and get these torn. And I'm not going to use it as a big sheet. I do need to tear the pieces up. As you can see, I tore them up a little bit. Just trying to figure out where to put this on. I'm just going to Mod Podge these on. I'm going to tear this right here. It was just a little too big. Okay. Put this on here. You know what, actually, this is a little too thin on that, so might want to just decoupage it on the bunny itself. Yeah, unfortunately, when you have to use that other ply, it just gets so thin. Let's kind of tear this one here. Like I said, I'm just going to put the Mod Podge on the bunny, stick it on, and Mod Podge over it. And make sure I get into all the little creases that the bunny has around the head and the legs. All right, so he is all done. And I took some latte here and some toffee brown and some nutmeg. And I had a few white spots, and I did go around the eyes, and I also painted the eyes black. But I thought those colors blended in great with the prints that I had found. So now we need to put some details on the bunny. It's a little too plain. So I want to use some lace, and I think I'm going to use this lace here, and I'm just going to gather it together and make a little rosette. I'm just going to hot glue this on. About right there. Okay. Push it in. I also have two colors of ribbon here. One's kind of a peachy pink and the other one a mauve. And tie them together, hot glue them on first. All right. And I also have some creamy colored pearl beads here. Just gonna glue that on, cut it off. Let's do another one. Get that one there. About that length. And so I want to put some flowers into it, but you know, I'm going to put one more of these on. Let's go ahead and put 3 of the pearl beads on. All right. Then I have this little flower here that came off of that bunch that you see to the left. Just going to hot glue this one here. Oops. And I have a couple of buttons that I want to put on right there. Okay, I also want to put these little pieces from another flower pick. They kind of coordinate, it's like a peachy pink. All right. And I need one more. And we'll glue that one there. All right, and that is all I'm going to do the bunny. I do need to cut off the ribbons here. They're just a little too long. There, isn't that one just so cute? And now for the little bunny. Isn't it adorable? I did this one with a little more blue to it, and I put a little ruffle collar around it. My second project is going to be the flower pot. Now, this is my inspiration. This is originally from Hobby Lobby. I got it at a thrift store many years ago, and I always decorate with it. I've always wanted to make one like it. I love the humps that it has. So I just have this little terracotta pot that I've had for many years. I'm going to take my Model Magic clay, and I am going to make 3 humps on this flower pot, just like that. And I will be using the moss. I'm going to put some moss on it too, and I'm going to try to paint it to even look the same, the best I can. So let's get started on the humps. Just taking my Model Magic clay here, and I'm just going to press it on. And I don't have to blend it in too much with the pot here because it's going to get covered with moss. I'm going to push it down on the inside too of the rim. So it's on the outside and the inside. Okay, let's go ahead and get the next one. All right, and the last hump. All right, so I'm going to have to let this dry for a day, and then I can get started painting on it. Now that it has dried overnight, I'm going to paint the flower pot. I'm going to try to mimic this the best I can. I'm going to be using a color called Latte, Espresso, and Toffee Brown. I'm going to be using the Toffee Brown to base coat the pot inside and out. And I don't have to paint the clay because it's going to be covered with the moss. I'll probably have to end up doing 2 coats on here. And when that dries, I'm going to put the moss on. Now, this is what I've been doing. I've been taking this reindeer moss that I got from the Dollar Tree many years ago, and I'm just cutting it up as fine as possible because it's just a little bit too thick. The pieces are a little too big. Now, if I had an old food processor, I would definitely put that in there. I probably need to look for one of those because that would make it really fine. Just going to take some Mod Podge here. I got all my reindeer moss laying here. I'm going to roll this in. And I'm even doing it on the inside, so got to do that. A few of the spots didn't get hit, so I'm just adding some more Mod Podge. Got to roll it in there, stick more on. All right, I'm going to get this finished up and try to make it look the same as this other pot. Now I've got all the moss on there. I even put more Mod Podge on here. I don't really care for the color, so I'm going to use Hauser Light Green and one of my stencil brushes, and I'm just going to tap this light green on here. I don't want it this dark. So it's going to be tapping all over the green moss here. And that is looking better already. You can see it's getting much lighter. I still want some of the dark green to show through. I'm even going to do it on the inside. Okay. Now I've done the whole pot here, but I still think I want some more color. So I'm going to use this bright yellow. I'm going to use my stencil brush again. And I'm just going to tap on the yellow just to brighten it up even more. There we go. That looks really good. Yeah, this is looking a lot better with the yellow on it too. It's starting to look like the original one more. Now it is time to add some color here to the pot using the Latte. I have a stencil brush. I'm just going to be stenciling it on. I still want to see some of the toffee. Just going to go over the whole pot here. Just doing a bunch of tapping. There you can see a little bit of the toffee showing through. It's going to continue on around the whole pot here. All right, so I'm going to finish this up. I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to be using the espresso color. So I want to go along the edges of the moss, just like it's on the original one, and take the espresso, and I'm going to tap a little bit more of it off, so it will be kind of dark and light. There we go. And I'm going to go on the pot really lightly with it. So you can see it's darker around the moss but lighter on the pot. Yeah, this is looking really nice. I really like this. This is looking really good. Okay. I'm going to finish this up, and then we will compare the two. All right, so here it is. Here's the original. Now it's not exactly the same, but it is pretty close. You know, I might want to do some more of these. Yeah, this is, I wish my moss was a little bit more powdery, but you know, I think this is really good. All right, so now let's go on to the last project. So this is from the Dollar Tree. I've had this for a few years. I've never done anything with it, but I decided I'm going to do something with this. So I don't want the Happy Easter on the carrots here. I don't want that. The nose is another piece of wood. I'm going to take that off, and the bow. So here everything is off, and they did have the, the nose painted underneath. You know, I'm going to be covering this up. I'm not going to use these. Maybe another project. I do need to get this sanded. It is a little rough here, of course, where it pulled it off, but I will be covering all this up. Just going to sand it down. And then I'm going to sand the edges, because for some reason this thing is really rough on the edges. It's not smooth at all. Let's get this all sanded down. Then I'm going to paint it with this plaster color. I've put a few coats on here. This is a styrofoam ball here that I just cut in half. We're going to make his face a little dimensional, so this is for his nose area. His little cheeks and nose here. So I'm going to put these on here, but first I need to cover them with my Model Magic foam clay. So I'm just going to roll a ball out, press it down, roll it out thin, so I can cover each of the styrofoam balls here. Let's get this a little bit bigger. Okay, I'm gonna put it around. Make sure it's on there. I'm gonna take my X-Acto knife and cut it off around the ball. And it didn't go all the way through in some spots. That's okay. It's okay for it to be a little messy, because I'm going to be pulling it down. There we go. Now I've got both of them done, and I did glue this on with the E6000 and a little bit of hot glue just so it stays in place. I am working the nose here. And I'm going to do a little bit of a mouth underneath here too. But first I want to go around here so I can kind of blend it in with the wood. Smooth it out. And I do like to use a little bit of water to do that. Now that that's all done, I'm going to put a mouth right here. So I think I'm going to do it this way and keep it open. Just do a little curve like that. There we go. And that is going to be the mouth. Put that in there. Just trying to make it look the same on each side the best I can. Okay, now I'm working on the ears. I'm just going to make the little, it looks like these should flop over like so. So I'm just doing this a little bit more dimensional. Just going to smooth this in a little bit. And I'm doing this on the whole top of the ear. Okay. I don't want to make it look too rounded. There we go. I like it being pushed in. Let's push this one in a little bit too. Okay, and then I'm going to add, roll this out a little bit, just some more clay right here. Like I said, I'm going to do the whole ear flap like so. Make it all dimensional. Okay, so while I'm going to wait on this to dry, this is going to be the body. Now I've had this for a long time. You can see I got this really cheap. I might have got it half off too. I've had it for, well, I don't know, like 3 or 4 years. And I've never done anything with it, but I'm turning it upside down because I think it's a perfect body for the bunny. Look at this. That looks so cute because it looks like a long collar. But this is indented here on the bottom, so I'm going to have to fill it up with some clay. All right, I went ahead and painted it, the plaster color, and I left the bottom like that, and I have some of the clay here. I'm going to flatten it out, and I want to cover this, kind of build it up just a little bit. Because my bunny head has got to sit on here in the middle, so it's going to press it around the edges. Make sure it's all the way to the edge. All right, there we go. All right, so I want to put the bunny head like so. But it needs to be built up just a little bit more because I still want some of the roundedness to show of the head. So I'm just going to build up a little piece right here. Yes, I'm going to kind of see here. I did build up the back a little bit too. It just seemed a little too flat. I didn't want it too rounded because you're really not going to see the back. That was kind of bothering me. Plus, I think it will sit better if I have some more weight on the back like the front. So I'm kind of thinking like this. I'm going to kind of press it down. And I am pushing it into the other piece. All right, so I got that all done and he's dry. I drew some eyes on. I was going to use the clay, but I decided not to. So I just drew some eyes on. I'm going to paint them with white first. Just going to follow the lines here. Get the whites of his eyes done. Make sure I have enough on there. And I will be outlining these so you will be able to see them better. Okay. And the next thing I want to do is add the color to the eyes. And I'm going to use the color Blueberry. Just make some little half circles here. It's not easy trying to make them look the same on both sides, but I'll do my best. Let's go slow. Already starting to look really cute. It really needed some eyes on it. I'm just trying to get them to look the same. It's not easy. All right, looking cute. The next thing I've done is I added some black for his pupil and I did some outlining of the eye. So now I need to do the other one. Now, this might be hard to see on here because the blueberry is a little dark blue. Okay. And I'm going to use a Sharpie to go around the eye and do the eyelashes. So now that that is done, I'm just going to take some white. I'm going to dip the end of my paintbrush into it. And we're going to dot the eyes. There we go. Now I want to do the mouth, the nose, and the little cheeks. So I'm going to use Cameo Pink to paint the nose. Now I'm going to use Wild Rose. I'm going to paint inside the mouth right here as carefully as possible. Use one of my smaller paint brushes. And I'm also taking the Wild Rose and a stencil brush, and I'm going to dab the cheeks here, get some color on here. And I'm also taking the Cameo Pink to go over it because it's just a little bit too dark. Lighten it up a little bit more. And I'm also going to take some white, try to lighten it up even more. I'm also going to take some of that white and dab the nose, a little highlight on the nose. Okay, there. All right, I did add a little bit more white to it, but now I'm going to be taking Hydrangea Pink and I'm going to kind of float inside the ears here. So I've just watered down my paint and I'm lightly putting it on. Let's go ahead and get the other side done now. Looks so much better having some of that pink color on the ears. I'm also going to be doing some highlighting on the ear flaps here with my Hippo Gray. I do have this watered down just a little bit, and I'm going to wipe off the excess with a damp piece of paper towel. I'm going to do the whole ear on all the edges. Okay, and I'm also going to do outlining the face. Now, for some reason, it didn't record when I painted the bottom. It's just the Hydrangea Pink, and then I took some white and did some striping on the collar, and I just lightly brushed some of the white on the little flowers and leaves down there. So what I want to do is add some lace down here. I think this is a perfect spot for some lace. I'm just going to gather it up with some needle and thread. And try not to poke myself too much. All right, so I'm going to continue to do this whole piece of lace, and then I'm going to hot glue it on. I'm going to start at the back here, and I'm hot gluing it to the bottom of what I call his little collar, or her collar. Since it's pink, this is a girl. I think that looks really cute. Let's get the rest of it done. One more little section, there we go. Now, I want to do some ribbon. I have my mauve and my light pink. Just going to tie them together. We're just going to do a little bit of embellishment on the left side of the bunny's face here. Just going to hot glue that on. You know, it's a little hard to see to do this one because his nose sticks out a little too much. I'm also going to use some of my pearl bead strings here. Just going to hot glue them on, cut them off, do 3 of those. All right, that looks really cute. I'm going to take some more of that lace, and I'm going to make like a little fan here. I'm going to use some hot glue do some gathers with it. I'm going to do a little bit more there. It does not want to stick very good. I'm going to hot glue it right there. All right. Now I want to add some flowers in here. I'm not sure. I kind of like these, but you know what? They're kind of the same color. That's a little too pink. Yeah. I still kind of like these, but it's pretty much the same color pink as my paint. How about these mauve ones? I love these. I got these from Temu. I think I'll use those. That's a good one. All right, so I did cut some of the green off and hot glued it on. And I'm taking the mauve colored and the lighter colored one. Let's go ahead and put the mauve one on first, and then the other one. And a little bit of berries here that came off. Looking cute. All right, so I have that done down there, and I want to do something on the ears because there's still that spot above the eye that got damaged. And you just can't sand that stuff down. It just doesn't work. So I have this pick here with the Easter eggs. I think will be perfect. I don't know if I want to use one of those leaves or not. But I am going to use the 3 eggs and then some of these other. I'm just taking a dowel rod here and I'm doing some little curly cues. It was a little too straight at the end. But you know what? I think I'm going to curly cue all the wires. Let's go ahead and do that. They'll look cute. And I'm not sure if I'm going to use these hot pink ones or not, but I'll go ahead and get them done. All right, so now I'm going to start gluing these on. Let's go ahead and get the eggs on first. I have a few little leaves here. And I'm going to go ahead and use these pink flowers. Let's tuck in some more of these berries. All right, I decided to take the pink flowers out and put the 2 roses in. Since I had the roses at the bottom, I thought it would be cuter. All right, so that is all that I'm going to do to this bunny. Now, let's see how I styled all of these projects. I thought I would display my little Easter bunny with that bunny head that I did on my previous video. So if you're new to watching my videos, I made this bunny head, looks like a Hobby Lobby one, out of a styrofoam egg, some foam board, and a terracotta pot with some Model Magic clay. So if you haven't seen that video, you definitely want to check it out. I'll have that link down below for you. Alright my sweet friends, that's going to do it for the video today. I hope that you enjoyed it and I could give you some ideas. Now please be sure to check out the playlist link down below in the description box because you don't want to miss everybody else's videos. I want to wish everybody a very wonderful day and I will see you next time. Bye for now.